everyone, I'm Jenny with ShowMeCute. This week's quote comes from an anonymous viewer. It says, "Never give up, ever." Like ever. Now, I think that you have to really think about this quote, and I'll tell you what I thought when I read it, but I'll tell you what you would have to give up. Things that would be bad. Stalking, bullying, eating entire bags of cookies or cookie dough. Bad things. Those you should give up. But the things that you should never ever give up are on life and being kind to people and loving people and forgiving people. And those are the things that I thought of when I read that quote. I have a lot of hard days, and I know that probably everyone is in the same boat. We don't always talk about those things. So just remember that almost everyone has bad days. Everyone has bad days. So remember, don't give up, ever. So let's get started with a bracelet tutorial this week that I'm really excited to share with you. A couple of weeks ago, my sister and I were perusing the aisles of Hobby Lobby, and we fell in love with these jumbo rhinestone strands. They come in all different colors, in silver tones as well as brass and even pearl. We thought that was just super adorable, and even this cute purple that goes with some other bracelets that I had. So I wanted to share this with you. And some of you are not gonna have Hobby Lobby near you, but don't worry, because I have arranged with Hobby Lobby a way for you to order these even though they're not on their website. So you're gonna wanna go to ShowMeCute.com for the instructions on how you can order your cute rhinestones. But today we're gonna get started. What we're gonna need is a rhinestone strand, just like this one. And I'm going to take it apart, and depending on your wrist size, everybody's going to be different. For me, this, by the time it stretches out, is a little bit too big. As you can see, it overlaps there, and I don't want that. Because we're going to be adding a toggle closure to this, we want it to just barely meet that far, because the toggle will give us the increased length that we want. So I want to take off 2 of these rhinestones. So I'm going to take a pair of needle nose pliers, probably going to need 2, and these very easily just come apart. Okay, I have all my supplies prepared here. I'm going to take the toggle. It doesn't matter which end you start with, and I'm going to go down with my waxed linen, and then I'm going to go up through the hole on this one. Now, if your rhinestone chain doesn't have a ring like that, I'll show you how we're going to end this one, and you would just do it the same on both ends. So then I'm going to just line this up so it comes right to the very end of our bracelet. And this is kind of tedious work, so if you just want to watch what I'm doing while I get this settled. And then I need this piece of waxed linen out here. These pieces that are down here actually are a little bit long, but that's okay. They're just going to get wrapped into our bracelet. And we want to leave a little bit of slack here also to let that dangle. So I'm going to start wrapping this, and I want to wrap really tightly. And if you can see, I have, let me get that out of the way. I have this loop here, and I have the double strand like that, and I'm wrapping around that ring a couple of times so that it's nice and secure. And this, you can't really mess it up. You're just getting it attached, and after you start wrapping, you can wrap it around and cover what you're doing. So now I'm just gonna hold all of this together with my fingers, and I'm gonna put my thumb and my first finger here, and I'm just gonna wrap. I'm going to the next part here and wrap Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it and then I'll explain what I did. That'll probably be easier. Okay, with my linen, with my cord, I wrapped this 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and you want it to come out looking really clean. So I wrapped it tightly, but then just right next to each other, and you want to fill that space in between your 2 rhinestones. And so then I'm going to move on to the next one, and you can keep watching while I do this and see how it works. Wrap, wrap, wrap. So you can see I'm just wrapping nicely around there. It takes your fingers a few minutes to kind of get used to what you're doing, but it's okay. If it doesn't come out right, then, or the first time, then unwrap it and try it again so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do that same motion. This is what it looks like on the back. You can see where I'm jumping to the next, and I'm wrapping 3 times and then jumping. So I'm going to keep wrapping this all the way down, and then I'll show you how we finish off the other end. Okay, I got all the way down to the end, and you can see where I took the pieces of rhinestone off. This is what that little piece looks like, and I wanted to keep that on there. You can pry this one apart and take that off, but here's why I left it on there. It keeps the rhinestone strand down, lashed down to the leather instead of letting this be floppy on the end of your bracelet. So I'm gonna take that, and then I cut my piece of leather right at the end, and I'm ready to just snip off some of my string too. And I need to incorporate this end of the toggle. So what I'm gonna do is do kind of like the same thing I did in the beginning, and I'm gonna fold it over. And the reason I'm folding it over is because I want that double strength of the waxed linen. And so I'm just gonna stick it through. Okay, this is the only little tricky part about making this bracelet and making it look good without having a bunch of bulk string left onto your bracelet. So I unwound my string. I don't want it wound all the way down to this one, and I'll show you why when we start wrapping. So I put the toggle on like I showed you just a minute ago. I'm going to set it down so you can see. And I folded that over, and I'm getting it set right up next to the leather strap, like so. And then I'm going to hold that with my fingers, hold that all down. I'm going to take this piece of leather that I still have room, and I'm going to come back. So I'm backtracking actually, and I'm going to come and wrap that around that last piece. And I'm also lashing down, if you can see, all that excess strand that was there as well. And then I can get that under. I'm still trying to keep it nice and clean here. Then I'm going to come up and go around here and come all the way down to the end, and take this piece that I had left, and we're just going to tie it off with that. And once you get some practice, you can get a real nice clean look to your bracelet. I like working this with this waxed linen because it has a little bit of grip to it, so you feel like you're sticking. You don't lose yourself. Okay, I've just tied a knot there, and then I'm gonna just snip, snip, leaving just a little tiny bit of an end, because here's the wonderful thing about this wax linen. You can just press it down like that, and you can't even see where the ends are. And then this piece right here is a little bit, not sharp, but you don't want it to poke you. This is the finished result with my bracelet. You really don't see a whole lot of the leather, so you just want to make sure that it, let's see if I can put this on for you. I think the toggles are way easier to put on by yourself for a bracelet than trying to do a clasp. So that's how that works, and that's how it looks. And I am in love with these. The only thing I warn you from is don't wear these with a lace shirt, because they get caught on the lace all the time. I hope you enjoyed this video and are successful in your bracelet making. If you don't have Hobby Lobby in your area, I'm really sorry. That's such a terrible thing. Perhaps email them or write to them and ask them why they are not in your area. Let them know that you would like to have them, because you really would like to have them. I promise. If you'll check in the description box below, I will have a link to the blog post on these bracelets that gives you all the information that you will need to call Hobby Lobby and order your rhinestone chain. So don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Pinterest and Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And thank you guys so much for watching, and keep those comments coming. Bye.